Hello and welcome to the Intermittent Fasting Gems with Jen podcast. I'm your host, Jen, a middle-aged Michigan mama, wife, and teacher who in 2021 stumbled upon this crazy cool thing called intermittent fasting. And before I knew it, I'd lost 46 pounds in 4 months and gained an incredible lifestyle filled with complete food freedom. If you're hungry for unique, no-nonsense fasting tips that actually work, you're in the right place. So whether you're walking the dog, folding that last load of laundry, or cruising to your 9 to 5, let's start fasting our way to freedom together. Well, hello there, fabulous fasting friends. Welcome to episode number 75. I hope all is well, and I just want to thank you so much for being here with me today. If you're new to the show, I really appreciate you tuning in today. So I am just very glad to have everybody here. Okie dokie. So today we are talking about one of the simplest ways to make intermittent fasting feel way easier and way more effective. And that is eating complete protein foods during your eating window. If you've ever struggled with hunger, low energy, or losing muscle while trying to lose weight, this episode is going to help you understand why protein quality matters just as much as protein quantity. And don't worry, we are going to keep it simple here, practical, totally doable, because healthy weight loss should feel empowering and not confusing. So first, what exactly is a complete protein? A complete protein food is one that contains all 9 essential amino acids that your body can't make on its own, which means it gives your body the building blocks it needs to repair muscle and support energy and stay strong. On the flip side, incomplete proteins may still be healthy for you, but they don't provide all 9 essential amino acids in the same amounts. So they work best when paired with other foods across the day. Why does that matter so much for intermittent fasting? Well, because when you're fasting, you want the food you do eat to really count. And complete proteins can help you feel fuller, longer, support muscle maintenance, and make it easier to stick to your fasting schedule without feeling like you're starving by 3 p.m. In fact, research suggests intermittent fasting combined with a higher protein approach may support better weight loss, more fat loss, and an improved body composition compared with simple calorie restriction alone. All right, now let's talk about 9 of the absolute best complete protein foods for intermittent fasting, because this is where things get fun. Okay, so first up we have chicken breast. I love chicken. It's just a lean protein powerhouse. It gives you a huge amount of protein in a small serving. Turkey, love turkey too. Turkey is another excellent choice because it's lean, it's satisfying, it's packed with nutrients that can help keep energy and mood more stable during your eating window. Fish, especially salmon, is a fantastic option too, because it's not just a complete protein, it also brings in healthy fats and omega-3s to the table. That makes it a smart choice if you want a meal that's filling, nourishing, and supportive of blood sugar balance while you're fasting. Eggs are another favorite because they're so versatile, they're super easy to prepare, and they can help keep you energized and totally satisfied without a lot of fuss. So many different ways to eat eggs: hard boiled, dip eggs, egg salad. Like, you just do whatever I don't know. There's just a million ways to do eggs, which I can't believe for the amount of eggs that I have eaten in my lifetime. You would think that I would be tired of eggs by now, but honestly, I am not. I'm sure I have at least one egg a day on days that I have an eating window. But yeah, so love eggs. All right, now let's talk about dairy. Greek yogurt and cottage cheese are two complete protein foods that are especially helpful for intermittent fasting because they are filling, they're super convenient, and they're easy to build into breakfasts and snacks, and even into healthy desserts. Greek yogurt is also especially useful if you like smoothies, while cottage cheese works beautifully in savory bowls and egg bakes or even sweet recipes with some fruit and cinnamon. Now, if you prefer plant-based options, I've got those for you too. Quinoa, tofu, and edamame are all strong choices. Quinoa is a complete protein grain that brings fiber and slow digesting carbs. Tofu is a soy-based complete protein that's great for savory meals, and edamame makes an easy snack-friendly option when you want something light but satisfying. I mentioned the roasted edamame, the only bean snacks. I love those. They come in snack packs. I talked about those, I think, in my last podcast episode. But the nutritional profile on those is off the charts. Really, really awesome. So all of these foods are especially helpful if you're trying to build balanced meals that keep you full throughout your fasting hours. All right, so here is the simple takeaway. When you are intermittent fasting for weight loss, complete proteins are going to help you get more nutrition from fewer meals. They can support muscle repair, improve fullness, and make your eating window more strategic so you're not wasting calories on foods that leave you hungry again just like an hour later. That is a big deal when your goal is healthy, sustainable fat loss. So the main point is this: don't just eat protein, choose high quality protein, especially during intermittent fasting, so every meal works harder for your goals. So the next time you build a fasting-friendly meal, think protein first, whether it's chicken, turkey, eggs, salmon, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, quinoa, tofu, or edamame. These complete protein foods can help you definitely feel fuller, stay stronger, and make your intermittent fasting journey much more successful. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And remember, small, smart choices add up to big results. That is about it for today. But I do want to say something if you have stuck with me this far. If you are a woman around my age and you are struggling with perimenopause or menopause, or hormones are just treating you terrible, you are going to want to tune into my next episode. That's going to be episode number 76. Because, well, I've just got to say, most of you know I turned 50 last September. And holy moly, that came in, it's been a hurricane. I have felt terrible, honestly, for the last 6 months. I've gained about 18 pounds, and I'm not doing anything different. I just gaining it in my belly. I'm tired. I've had incredibly horrible headaches that just came blasting out of nowhere. Now, I had 10 years ago, I had a partial hysterectomy, so kind of dealing with some of that. Anyways, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I have done 3 main things in the last 4 weeks, and I've got to tell you, they have been game changers. I've already lost 10 of those 18 pounds I gained back just in the last couple weeks of trying these new 3 things that I am going to share with you in my next podcast episode, number 76. So stay tuned. All right, that's all I got, everybody. I hope you have a super awesome, amazing, magnificent day, and I will catch up with you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you so much for choosing to spend part of your day listening to this episode of the Intermittent Fasting Gems with Jen podcast. If you think these tips could help a friend or a family member, please consider sharing this episode with them. And if you really enjoyed the show, taking a minute or 2 to leave a positive review would be so appreciated. Tune in for new 15 to 25-minute episodes released on the 10th, 20th, and 30th of each month. Episodes will feature solo shows filled with IF hacks that have worked for me, as well as episodes where I get to chat with fun folks of all ages who've experienced incredible success with intermittent fasting. If you have questions or want more unique intermittent fasting health and weight loss tips, tricks, and recipes, please visit my website and blog at sowhatifwithjen.com. Finally, we'd love to welcome you into our free intermittent fasting Facebook support group, So What If with Jen. Find all of these links in the show notes below. And as always, I hope you spend your day loving without fear and laughing until your cheeks hurt.